Now what we can do, when we drop down to the 4 hour though, we can look and see, now we get a little bit help from our pivot points. Let's get rid of all that rubbish. Now we get some help from our pivot points. So, right here, yes, we rejected off our banking level. Okay. And now look where we are here, guys. There's S3. We didn't quite hit it, but look at that. S2. Right there, Emma. Hit S2. Look at that. Right there. S1. 2 candles hit that one. Here's R1 right here. Look at that. That wick there. Don't forget we're on the 4 hour. That wick on that candle. What did it do? Hit R1. Let's get this bigger so you can see it a little bit better. Can everyone? Oh, I need my pivot points here now. So see that pivot point? Look at that wick. Hit right on our pivot point. See that? S1 here. Look at that. Boom. Look at those 2 wicks. Right on S1. Can't make this stuff up, guys. S2. Look at that. Where did that wick to? S2. Now look, you might say, yeah, it went past S2. Yeah, it did. But what did it hit? Oh my goodness, guys. Can't make this up. Hit an EMA. What do we know about any line on here, whether it's EMA, whether it's a mid-Bollinger Band, whether it's a Bollinger Band rejection zone? What do we know about any line that you see? It could be resistance, it could be support. We got to see what happens when it hits it. This one came down and hit it. What did it do? Rejected off it. This one came down to the S1. What did it do? Rejected off it. That one tried it, rejected off it. This one did break through it, but really didn't go very far, and up it went. These are all pin bars. Don't forget a pin bar, if the pin is 2 times bigger than the body or more, it's going to go back up. So remember that about pin bars. Pin bars are, this one doesn't count because this pin, this part, is not 2 times bigger than this part. This one here is 2 times. The fact that this pin at the top is big kind of negates it though. Really, you only want a small pin at the top. So it's not really a pin bar that we're that comfortable with. Same as these, because the pins above are very long as well as below. So what we want, we haven't really got one on here that I can show you. Yeah, maybe more like this one. If that pin is 2 times the length of that body and there's just a little pin on there, then that's going to tell us it's going up. And actually, yeah, there we go. It went up. See this one here? That's what we call a pin bar. Same as this one here. This is almost a pin bar. It's not quite 2 times though. It did actually go down a bit. It's not quite pin bar. That is a pin bar there. Because the wick is 2 times bigger than the body. And it has a little to no wick at the top, the other direction. So that indicates it's going to go for a buy. If you saw that and you were watching that and you saw your blue trend line here, you saw that the snake was above the 50%. It did actually turn blue on that candle. Don't forget, this is the, what are we on, the 4 hour here? Let's move that out of the way. Yeah, the 4 hour. So we can see that is a going up sign. And off we go. And if we look, where's our... No, that would have been a different pivot point there. So, we look at these. This is on the 4 hour. We can see our S1. We can see our R1 got touched. We can see our R2 got touched here. got touched here, almost got touched here. And so then we see R3, what happens? Yeah, R3 got touched here. So, but our next one is way up there. So if we're looking at this as our target, we would say, okay, if it breaks R2, our next target's going to be R3. If it breaks R3, our next target's going to be the mid banking Bollinger at the mid banking level right here. If it breaks that, our next level is R4. If it breaks that, our next level is R5. So see how we do that, Emma? That's basically
Thank you.
how I look at these longer term. You've got to go to the very longer terms. The daily, the weekly doesn't help you when you're at all-time highs because there's nothing to the left of it. So then we have to drop it down to the daily, sometimes to the 4 hour. The beauty of the 4 hour is the pivot points. Guys, the pivot points are very, very important. I can't tell you how many times these pivot points, when you see me getting all excited about hitting TP 5, 6, 7, and 8, they're all pivot points.
Hmm.
All of them. You've seen it live. You've been on live session. I don't make those things up. I can't control these pivot points. I can't move them. You can't click on them and move them. They're designed. They're mathematically calculated. They're based on earlier support, resistance, price action, momentum, and other things going on in the background. And what it does do is it saves us having to figure out where all these levels are. Sniper Pro does it for you. This is advanced, guys. This isn't for beginners. People, I get caught up in telling people about these, and then I instantly regret it because I get all the newbies wanting to know what pivot points are, and they haven't even grasped, buy on blue and sell on red yet. So, I don't want them to go in these. But these are how we do the longer term things, Emma, is looking at those. But just be aware that, you've got to break through R2. You've got to break through R3. You've got to break through the mid banking level. You've got to break through R4. You could even throw one here on this stop loss that Sniper Pro put out. So you could say, okay, our next target will be up there at 33,500, and then our next target is going to be R5. But you can't get there without breaking through all of these. So, from there, we got to see that the candles stay above that. We got to see it break this. We got to see it break this. Oh, come on, guys. We got to see it break this. We got to see it break this. We got to see it break this. And we got to see it get to there. And don't forget, this is going to start painting differently. So tomorrow, these pivot points are all going to move. So don't forget, if I say, look, if we break R1, R2, R3, R4, the 23.5, and we'll be looking at 23,600, tomorrow these pivot points are going to change. And so I have to look at it again tomorrow. They won't change enough for me to change my mind. That's a potential target. If it does this, 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 then it'll go to that.